Bloomberg's Noor Ali from our MLive team. So Noor, good morning first of all, but how are the markets actually gearing up for the Fed today?
Well, I mean, it is incredibly exciting this morning. We've got the Fed coming up finally. We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks, and it's finally here. Obviously, markets are pretty quiet the morning of because it's just the quiet before the storm, but that does not make it any less exciting. So we're waiting ahead to see what Powell says. Is he going to be hawkish? Is there going to be more dovishness? I suppose we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, so if he is more hawkish, and I guess that would be a surprise, but we do have the Delta variant. How does that play out in the markets?
Well, look, we've had some of the alternate members from the Fed come out yesterday, push for a taper despite the Delta variant risks. You know, you've had the Fed's George, you've had Bullard, and you've had Kaplan come out yesterday, and they all really reiterated that position. They want to see a tapering a bit more, but they're also alternate members, so they're not voting members, and they may not weigh on that sentiment very much, but they also know what's going on. So in terms of what happened yesterday, we saw a bit of a wobbling when it comes to stocks. First of all, there was the unfortunate bombings that happened with Afghanistan that really pushed stocks lower. But then as Kaplan was speaking, the stocks went higher as well. So really there's a bit of a sway here with what markets are going to do.
Noor, when you look at some of the other things, right, I mean, market concerns are also around China, PBOC, maybe certain companies not being able to IPO. How does that play out?
Well, when it comes to Chinese equities in particular, anything that PBOC does is of interest, you know? And so when they've signaled that they may cut the RRR rate for a very specialized part of the market, so that's just for banks to spend on rural parts of the country, it does give the assets just a bit of a boost at least there because it shows that the PBOC is willing to be flexible. Now, obviously, it's not the same as a base rate change, but it does give that insight that we might see a bit of a green season on Monday, you know, come when the markets open there.
Noor, is there anything else that's on your mind? I know we've been talking about, of course, inflation ties into what we could hear at Jackson Hole, but supply chains, I know we talk about chips. Is there anything else that you're going into the Friday and into your weekend reading?
Well, you know, I'm looking at commodities. You know, we've got the September 1st OPEC meeting that's going to come, and that's going to highlight a lot of the tensions that are coming. But today, I'm going to be looking at the function USSW that's going to look at swaps because I want to determine how the market is pricing what Powell is saying. So if swaps move tighter, that means the markets are expecting Powell to be a bit more hawkish because that means tapering is going to come sooner, but if they move wider, that means they expect more bonds outperformance. So the function is USSW, and you'll be looking at US swaps there to tell how they're performing.
Noor, thank you so much. Bloomberg's Noor Ali there joining